I'm going to show you exactly why you can't win a game of Warzone 2 by breaking down a duo win that I had with my friend just yesterday. And I promise by the end of this video, you're going to be able to win so many more matches. So today you find me in a duos game with one of my friends. We have been having quite a slow game, to be honest. We haven't found many people. We haven't even had our gulag yet, and both of us are on 0 kills. As the zone is split here and it's going to move into one single zone, we know that this is pretty much where the game is going to end. And as a result, we need to clear this area in front of us before we advance into the new zone to make sure that when we get to that new zone, we don't end up getting third-partied in the arse. I'm making sure that we're clearing every single one of these rooftops, and if I can't see the rooftop, I'm going to go into that building and wait for sound cues to make sure that no one is camping above us. So me and Chris clear these buildings and we head through this big building here because it's going to give us one of the last vantage points in this zone. So when you're clearing out buildings like this, especially this late in the game, you need to make sure that you are clearing every single corner and every single room. The reason for this is because at this late stage, when the gulag is closed, a lot of people are going to be fighting on their own. There's going to be a lot of teammates from duos left over that are completely on their own, and this means that they're going to be forced to camp. And that's when you're going to end up getting killed in extremely frustrating ways because people are going to be hiding. So you need to make sure you have a fast fire rate SMG or something that's going to hit hard at close range. So when you're clearing out these buildings, you're not going to end up getting absolutely kicked in. Now, as we approach this final zone, you notice that the zone is actually going to be on this bridge. This is really great positioning for us because it means that not only are we going to have a little bit of high ground on the majority of the playable area that is left, but also the zone is going to close in on our backs, making it impossible for someone to get up on that bridge and flank us from behind. This is going to be absolutely paramount in winning the game, is having this final zone position. I get Chris to call in his UAV and we notice that there are a hell of a lot of people left. However, there's no one that has a direct line to this bridge. No one that is left on this screen when we see the UAV on the map is going to be headed towards this bridge because they're already the other side of the water. This means that the majority of players that are left are going to be funneled into a choke point, and this is going to mean that the amount of people that we actually have to engage and the amount of people that we actually have to kill is going to be dropped dramatically. So now a lot of people, when they're crossing an open bridge like this, they would get scared of getting peeked from other people, and to combat this, the most natural instinct they're going to have is to just army crawl the whole way along prone. This might seem like a good idea because it means that you're not going to get spotted. However, you're missing out on valuable pieces of information. For example, here I see a guy's coming out of this building, so I take a few shots on it. Like I've said in a few of my videos now, if you do see people that you know you can get a few shots on, the chances are it's always best to take those shots, because the information I got from that is that yes, he had purple armor. Also, it means I'm taking valuable plates away from him, meaning that if it comes down to me and that guy in the final zone, I know that I've at least taken some of those plates away from him, which could mean the difference between winning and losing this game. As the zone approaches us from the rear here, I'm making sure that no one has flanked around us and that no one is going to be coming along that bridge. As soon as I see that the majority of the bridge has been covered, I know that I'm pretty much safe to continue along the bridge and let the gas close in behind me. There's no ladders on this bridge, and there's no way that anyone is going to be able to come up and follow me. Now, Chris and I noticed that this house here on the left is going to give us a great overview of the rest of the playable area in this final zone. It's not in zone, so it's not a power position that we can continue to hold. However, what it does give us is a great line of sight across the rest of what is in play. As we approach the house, I enter through the top window. 9 times out of 10, players are going to be camping stairs if they are camping in a building, so coming in through a window or an unexpected area is going to give you the best chance to have the element of surprise, and it means that you're not going to be camped as soon as you enter that building. Luckily for us, this building seems to be clear. Out the window there to the northwest, I spot a guy on the roof and I tag him so that Chris knows he's there. As soon as you see people in these late game situations, you need to make sure that you're tagging them or your teammates. This is because they need to know how they can rotate. They need to know how they're going to be able to move. Now, one thing that I want to point out here is that me and Chris are never in the exact same room. It's a very bad idea for these late game situations for you and your teammate to be exactly in the same place. Anyone could throw a drill charge in there, anyone could cook a grenade and kill you both in the same instance, and you do not need that shit, especially in the late game. As we walk into this building here, I notice that there's a cluster mine the other side of the building. This is going to stop mine and Chris's rotation, and it means that we're going to have to at least camp here for a second and just see where the zone is going to take us. As Chris rounds the corner, he is caught off guard by an enemy. Notice that because I stayed in the building and Chris rotated on his own there, only Chris went down. This allows me to get the call out from Chris, round that corner myself, and finish the guy as he is running away. This is another great tip. If you down someone, make sure you don't turn your back to the direction that that person came from. If that guy had slowly backed into that building, instead of running away, he would have got the shots off of me, and he might well have won that engagement. Now, as we approach this building, the zone is on our back, and we know that if we wait a few seconds, then no one is going to be coming to flank us. However, someone busts in the door, and Chris has just told me that he has no plates. This means that he is going to go down incredibly easily. So I put my body in front of his and take out that guy with my Fennec because I had plates, so I was able to absorb more damage than Chris. And if Chris had gone down there and died, if that guy had thirsted him whilst he had gone down, then that would have made our odds of winning this game extremely low. As we push out of this building, we're going to go from cover to cover. Whenever you're moving, especially in these late circles, you need to make sure that you're always looking for your next piece of cover. Here I see a guy cresting the hill in front of me. This is an extremely bad play on this guy. Whenever you're in any situation, whether it's in the beginning of the game or right here at the end of the game, you never want to silhouette yourself on top of a hill like he is. Because he is at the top of the hill and the gas is directly behind him, this means he sticks out like a sore thumb, and as a result, I easily get the down on him. Now, I don't manage to get the finish on this player. However, like I said before, when we're talking about attrition, we know that we have now taken at least 3 plates off of this guy, but also we might have taken a self-revive as well. I see 2 players hiding in the brush, so I take a few shots at one and break him and down him, and then unluckily for me, his friend manages to hide in the bush and I don't get the kills. However, again, we're talking about the attrition here. We know that we're taking valuable plates and resources off of these guys when we're taking off their armor, so taking shots at anyone at this late stage is going to be extremely beneficial for winning the game. Here we're getting a bit of a sticky situation. Chris has pushed away from me because, like I said before, it's always best that you're not in the same place. I'm getting bombarded by both a precision airstrike and a cluster strike at this point, and it does manage to knock me and break all my armor. However, I'm able to use the self-revive and tell Chris not to worry and not to break his position. Because of this, I'm able to wrap around that piece of cover that I had whilst plating with the few plates that I have left, and then Chris is able to take out the enemies that I was shooting at earlier because I'd already knocked down their ability to heal. Now it's a 2v2 and there's only one building left in the zone, so the best play here is to get that high ground. Me and Chris are both searching for both of these enemies now, and they could be down on my right here or they could be in this building, so I need to make sure that I'm actually clearing this building and making sure that they're not going to sneak up behind us. Chris goes downstairs whilst I maintain the high ground, and this is an extremely important play here because as Chris rounds the corner again, he's going to get downed, which is going to give me extremely valuable information, and he's going to be able to tell me exactly where the enemies are. Chris goes down and he gets thirsted, and then both of the enemies are stood right together, meaning that the 45 bullets that I have in the mag of my Fennec are absolutely ample to take both of them down, and we get the win. This is the main point of this video. Do not stick to your teammates like you're fucking Siamese twins. Always give space. This is going to give you a lot more of a broad overview of the playable space, meaning that you're going to have a lot more information, but also it doesn't mean that you're both going to die if someone manages to catch you off guard. But anyway, I hope you guys found this information useful, and I really hope that you're enjoying these sorts of breakdown videos. For those of you who have watched these videos for a while, you'll know that I love to see who sticks around until the end. So if you're still here, I'd like you to let me know by answering this question down in the comments. Who would win in a fight, Donald Trump or 10 turkeys? Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm Average Joel. Peace.